Number 27. The author of passage 2 would most likely agree with which of the following statements? The violence of the Cultural Revolution is justified by its improvements in infrastructure. Mao Zedong was directly responsible for the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution is a complex issue with many valid perspectives, or China's past need not inform its future. So let's take a look at these one at a time. The author of passage 2. So we're looking at the author of this passage right over here, and he has to agree with something. Is it that the violence of the Cultural Revolution is justified by its improvements in infrastructure? No, not at all. Nothing here is saying anything that the Cultural Revolution is justified just because we had infrastructure improvements, right? Nothing here says that. In fact, he says the opposite. It's a cultural tragedy that no one can argue with, right? That's so A is not the right answer. Is it that Mao Zedong was directly responsible for the Cultural Revolution? So the second passage doesn't actually mention Mao Zedong at all, right? There's nothing here that mentions Mao Zedong whatsoever. It's the author of passage 1, right? But remember, we're looking at the author of passage 2, agreeing or disagreeing. So B is not the right answer. Author of passage 1 would agree with B, but not the author of passage 2. The Cultural Revolution is a complex issue with many valid perspectives. Yeah, this could be something, right? Because he's saying that no one can argue with the fact that it was a cultural tragedy, but its role in China's later economic reforms is often understated. So he's saying that, yeah, the Cultural Revolution was a terrible thing that happened, but it's a very complex thing because there were a lot of things that came out of it that affected China later on, right, in the 1980s. So C is a possible answer, and D is China's past need not inform its future. Well, this is not right at all because the author says that the sweeping economic reforms in the 1980s would not have been possible without the infrastructure developments that occurred during the Cultural Revolution. So, he's saying that, in fact, what happened in the 1980s was affected by what happens in its past. So it definitely informs its future, right? The past will definitely inform the future. So D is not correct at all. So we're left with C. C is the correct answer, that the revolution is a complex issue with many valid perspectives here.